Hello and a very warm welcome to this special as we preview the second semi-final of the T20 World Cup, and it will be played between the only unbeaten team in the tournament, that is Pakistan, and a resurgent Australia side. What is it going to be like? What are some of the questions that Australians, especially the Australian bowling, can ask of the Pakistani batting? We'll discuss all of that here with Nikhil Narayan. Also joining me will be Shubhayan Chakravarti. But let me begin with Nikhil straight up. Nikhil, for Pakistan, they've been in red-hot form, the only unbeaten team in the tournament. But Australia is peaking at the right time, and we know what Australia can do. They've got a very good batting lineup. They've got a great bowling lineup. It's going to be a cracker of a contest.
Yes, a cracker of a contest, a repeat of the 1999 World Cup final, which Australia, won. One-sided match it was. This won't be that one-sided, mainly because this is a resurgent Pakistan who has, who has been the best team in the tournament by far.
Yeah.
News 9 said it in the preview that Pakistan are pre-tournament favourites and they've played to their potential. A lot of things go in favour of Pakistan, which we'll discuss later. But in this match, they will start favourites. Yes, Australia is making a comeback in the format after a terrible 2 years, amongst the worst in the pack. Right. But you can't count Australia out because, any sport, cricket, swimming, athletics, Australia knows how to compete and they hate to lose.
Exactly. You said it very correctly, but you cannot take Australia lightly at all. I would also think the way they've bounced back, and Shubhayan can come in if he's already joined us, that, okay, so we're going to wait for Shubhayan to join. But Nikhil, just the way that they bounced back after the drubbing they got in the from England, because you saw that was a completely one-sided match, and you wondered how bad were Australia coming into this tournament, and that sort of summed up their last 2 years and how they've done in this in the T20I format. But from there, the way they bounced back and to have made it to the semis, I think that would have given them the confidence they needed. Yeah,
actually Australia were not in my personal pick of 4 for the semi-finals, so they've surprised me. Their, their resurgence has been built on their bowling more than their batting. Some of their bowlers have been outstanding in the tournament. The batting has been good. It's been built around one great batsman, Warner, who we'll talk about later in the show. Right.
Let's also talk about the head-to-head records, Nikhil. For the two teams, you know that the Pakistani fans would be happy if they look at what the history suggests, because it is really it is skewed in Pakistan's favour, because 23 times in T20I cricket, Pakistan leading that head-to-head 13-9.
Yeah, Pakistan have got the better of Australia.
Yeah.
13-9 is, it favours Pakistan, although Australia won the last series. It was in 2019 in Australia, 3-match series. One match was abandoned, so Australia won the 3-match series 2-0.
Right.
But I think, ultimately it will come down, to the record in the conditions.
Correct.
I think that will be, the main factor in this match. And if we see the graphic, which will be played now, Pakistan has a stunning record, Meha, in the UAE. Haven't lost a single match since 2016 in UAE, 16-0. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's almost like Pakistan is playing this World Cup at home.
It's like Karachi, Lahore, it's back. So, that is a huge factor in favour of Pakistan. So, yeah.
I think it'll come down to Pakistan's batting versus Australia's bowling, because I think if Australian bowling, and they've been brilliant in this tournament, if they can restrict Pakistan to a good total, just don't let them run away the way, Shoaib Malik did in the match against Scotland, or the kind of opening that their openers have been giving them, I think there is a chance there, a bigger chance for Australia to come back into this match if they do it.
Yes, that is the battle. It is a battle between Pakistan's batting, which has been excellent in the tournament, and Australia's bowling, which is their stronger suit. There are many matchups which we'll discuss, later. But I think for Australia to win this match, which will be an upset, they need to get that opening pair early, at least one of the two. Otherwise, because those two have this camaraderie now. That partnership is just exemplary for the last couple of years.
So. And how good have they been? Let's start with Babar Azam then. It just has come with a single-minded focus of just winning the World Cup, and he's led from the front in 5 matches, 4 50s, and I think a 45.
Yeah, highest
he's
scorer.
The highest run scorer. I mean, he's been unstoppable.
He's unstoppable. And see, the thing with Pakistan is that Pakistan has been always this brilliant side who've been very volatile and erratic. That's the quintessential quality. But this Pakistan team doesn't seem to be very volatile or erratic, which is not very un-Pakistani, and it's mainly because of the opening pair and mainly the captain Babar Azam. He brings a sense of calmness into the side. He doesn't panic while batting first or chasing. He'll score at a strike rate of 110, 120, and slowly in the middle overs take it to 140, 150, and end up with 135 plus. Pakistan wins the match. So it's brilliant. And that is what some of our Indian batsmen also failed to do, including the likes of Virat Kohli, etc. So Babar Azam, the numbers are phenomenal. I mean, we can see them on the graphics. I mean, the highest score of the tournament, one of the 2 highest scorers since T20, since 220.
But that's my thing. How well does Mohammad Rizwan complement Babar Azam also as an opening pair? I mean, that's why they've been so successful, because if Babar is slightly more guarded, Rizwan goes out, plays an attacking innings, and the thing is that they both have the game for playing both kinds. And so they manage to switch those roles as well. But this opening partnership, it's just something that Pakistan can be so proud of.
Yeah, I mean, this opening partnership, look at their numbers. They are the highest run getters in T20I cricket individually since 2020. They have scored 340 runs in this tournament with 200 partnerships, which is, and they are the most prolific pair, not surprisingly, in this tournament. Not only in T20I cricket, but in T20 cricket, they are the highest run getters since 2020. Fantastic average, high strike rate. So, both of them just complement each other brilliantly. Rizwan understands Babar's game and vice versa. They don't panic, they build partnerships. In the power play, they score around 40, 45, but then they take it in the middle overs, they increase their run rate to 8 or 9. And Pakistan always gets a fantastic platform, and then the likes of Malik and Asif Ali take over. So this partnership has been, according to me, the sole, not the sole reason, but the main reason why Pakistan is 5-0 in this tournament.
That's right. And on top of that, in case this partnership fails, which hasn't happened in the tournament, but if they need an impetus towards the end, then you have the experience of Shoaib Malik, the brilliant 50 of just 18 balls. There is, obviously Asif Ali, who's been hitting sixes at will. This is a brilliant team. Also now, Shubhayan joins us from Dubai. Shubhayan, a big matchup there between Australia and Pakistan. Of course, Pakistan go in as favourites in this, but it'll come down to how the Australian batters stand up on this big occasion, because I think that's where things are going to be different.
Yeah, Meha, as we speak, Steve Smith is just walking into the nets right now, and he becomes the first player to hit the nets today. An Australian team has just arrived here at the ICC Dubai Academy to get their training session on the eve of the match. Pakistan is going to train in the evening. But as we speak, Steve Smith is going in the nets. Obviously, they were doing extended warm-up session with the rugby ball. The team just arrived here. But yes, it is going to be a fascinating contest. The last time these two teams met, we saw masterclass by Hussey there. We have seen some exciting battles when these two teams have met in the past. Be it that battle between Wahab Riaz and Shane Watson. That was one memorable spell by Wahab Riaz. So this matchup has so much history, so much intrigue about itself, and with Australia Australia touring Pakistan next season, this matchup has gained some more spice into it.
But David Warner, he's been the star performer for Australia, and it'll come down to how he does, because the burden will be on him, with Aaron Finch having played a couple of cameos but hasn't played a match-winning innings in the tournament, and even for that matter, Steve Smith as well. We know David Warner is in good form, so it'll be an important match for him.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, with Mitchell Marsh playing at number three, batting at number three, Steve Smith's role has been like a bit secluded because you have then Glenn Maxwell as well. If the top three plays for 10, 15, 10, 12 overs, then you can't send Steve Smith there. So you will have to send Glenn Maxwell there. So the batting chances have been slightly lesser for Steve Smith in this tournament. But again, this Australian team, you never know when in what mood David Warner turns up, in what mood Aaron Finch turns up. Although it is an optional session for Australia today, the entire team has come. So they are hungry for this win, and remember they haven't won a single T20 World Cup so far. So this time they would be gunning to go and complete this full circle of winning the ODI World Cups and T20 World Cups as well.
On paper, this batting lineup is so good for Australia, but David Warner is the one who is fired the most in this tournament. As Shubhan was also talking about it, Mitchell Marsh at number 3, but all the others around him, you wouldn't say they've really played a big role in any of the matches. Right. They've obviously provided the runs needed, and that'll be crucial now because Pakistan is a team that has a strong batting. They have a good bowling lineup, and that will be one of the most important things.
Right, Maya. I mean, Australia needs more from their batsmen. The bowlers have done the job. They need more from Maxwell and Steven Smith. Maxwell was phenomenal for RCB in the just concluded IPL 2021 in the same conditions. He hasn't fired at all in this tournament, which is a surprise. But I'm expecting Maxwell to go big in the knockouts. Steven Smith is not a great T20 batsman. Of course, he's played some memorable knocks, but he's a great test batsman, also an excellent ODI player. But he's not a great T20I batsman. But he has it in him. He's such a genius that he can improvise and provide those cameos and those, those match-changing innings. So I'm also expecting Steven Smith to, come out in a big match, and like he did in the 2015 World Cup, the main World Cup, to come out and, today is a big match and knockout to perform today. It's crucial for Australia.
How good has Adam Zampa been, Shubhayan? I mean, the lone spinner in these conditions. Yes, their new ball bowlers have bowled well, and we'll talk about that as well. Josh Hazelwood has been brilliant, but Adam Zampa in the middle overs and the way he's controlled the innings, 11 wickets, he's the highest wicket taker in the Super 12s. Coming into this tournament, no one would have thought that, he would be performing like this. So that's an absolutely brilliant performance by him.
He just threw the rugby ball, almost threw the rugby ball to me. He was just he's in a good mood right now. And if I can move a bit, I'll show our viewers that the Australian team is setting up their training camp. Aaron Finch is right standing there. Steve Smith is already batting. You can see Kane Richardson coming just as we speak. He's having a chat with the coach there. And this Australian camp is looking in good mood at the moment, and you can never rule out when it comes to the Australian team in World Cup, and you can never rule out in what mood they turn up. And Adam Zampa, as you said, coming back to Adam Zampa, he has turned up his level of bowling as well. Adam Zampa obviously has always been looked as a mediocre bowler who can come in and give you those 10 overs in ODI and 4 overs in middle overs in T20 cricket. But right now in UAE conditions, with the experience of playing with the IPL guys as well, he has taken a lot in his experience as well. But and obviously Adam Zampa has that sort of experience. He has played for Australian cricket for a while now, so he knows the setup, he knows the players worldwide, and it will be important. His 4 overs will again be important against those Pakistani middle order, and his matchup against Fakhar Zaman, the left-handed batter, will be the crucial. If Fakhar Zaman can take him on, then it's game over for Australia. But again, the right-handers will have some troubles. It will have some issues against Adam Zampa.
I really want to know I mean, this was a conversation that I was having with somebody earlier on when we were talking about this second semi-final between Australia and Pakistan, where we were talking about how whoever ends up winning will win the Australian way, because you have Justin Langer in one camp and you have his opening partner Matthew Hayden in another. Shubhayan?
Yes, absolutely. And today Matthew Hayden came up for the pre-match press conference, and it was so weird to see him in that Pakistani jersey, But again, Matthew Hayden has done a phenomenal job with the Pakistani team. He has pumped pumped them up so well in this tournament. But again, when it comes to professional, these guys are extremely professional. When we talk about Australian players or English players, these guys are very professional, and that is why when you will see Justin Langer or Matthew Hayden having a photo session, they had a photo session yesterday. You will see that passion in their eyes because they want their team to win the match. Not they are not the Aussie in that Aussie mode anymore. Hayden will be passionate that Pakistan can pull off the win. Obviously, if they manage to defeat Australia tomorrow, he will be slightly upset, but again, he will be very happy for his team. And Justin Langer, we all know his passion from his playing days. He's a hard taskmaster, and after all the things he took over the Australian team in a tough time, and since then he has molded them into a good side again. Of course, David Warner and Steve Smith are back in the at the reckoning, but a lot of credit goes to Justin Langer, the way he has managed this team during the tough time to this time.
Yeah, Shubhan, also the other question I wanted to ask you is that what is the sense that you're getting with their likely playing 11? Do you see any changes given that they have a left-arm spinner in Ashton Agar, but you know what happened when they played him in England? But they would be tempted to play him against Pakistan. Is that something that they can think of? What is the sense that you're getting?
See, they have just started the acquisition. Obviously, Nagar has also come in for the session, so it will be interesting to see. I'll have a close eye on Ashton Agar specifically after this question. But he has done really well in this last few years, be it in the Sheffield Shield, be it in the domestic tournament in Big Bash. He has been in great form. He knows how to pick wickets. He's a restrictive bowling option as well, and knows how to score runs. Remember, against India, he scored some good crucial runs down the order. So Ashton Agar is a very handy player, and if the conditions in Dubai, it has been in slightly in favor of the spinners, but again that toss will play a crucial role because you never know. But again, Ashton Agar has the experience of bowling with the dew as well, so it will be pretty interesting. And after this question, I'm certainly going to keep a close eye on Ashton Agar.
Some of those key battles, and that's where, because I think that's where the changes, that's where you get a match winning point, or the changing or the turning point of a match between big battles, like big matchups that we see in T20 internationals, one here being between Shaheen Shah Afridi and David Warner.
Yeah. Shaheen Shah Afridi versus David Warner is the battle for me of this contest. Shaheen Shah Afridi, has been excellent in the tournament. I mean, we all know what he did against India. He's one of the best left-arm quicks in the world. David Warner is coming back after a terrible IPL. He's Australia's best batsman in this tournament. David Warner, interestingly, has an excellent record against left-arm fast bowling. Average above 30, strike rate of 140. But Shaheen Shah Afridi has an excellent record against left-handed batsmen. So now, therefore, this matchup, as it is, it's a great matchup, but the numbers suggest it's going to be even better matchup now. Another matchup, Meha, which I'm looking forward to, another one in the power play, is between Josh Hazlewood and the Pakistan run machine, Babar Azam.
Correct.
See, they haven't ever faced each other because Pakistan doesn't play too many matches. See, Babar Azam is a run machine. He will not take risks against Hazlewood in the power play. That's his style. Hazlewood is a line and length bowler. Hazlewood has not only picked 8 wickets in this tournament, he's also been very restrictive. In fact, he's one of the most restrictive bowlers in the power play especially.
Correct.
He doesn't give away runs at all.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting how Azam counters Hazlewood. Will he be very circumspect against him? That will cost Pakistan the run rate in the power play. Or will he take certain calculated risks against him? Another interesting contest I'm looking forward to is Adam Zampa versus Asif Ali in the middle overs. Now, Adam Zampa has been, you just mentioned the highest wicket taker in the Super 12, phenomenally restrictive. But Asif Ali has been this cameo specialist. We all saw what he did against Afghanistan. So Asif Ali, leg spinners have a bowling strike rate of 12 against Asif Ali. But he has a batting strike rate of only 117 against them. So, which means that Asif Ali has a weak link, which is against leg spin bowling. He gets out to leg spin bowling and he doesn't dominate them. So it could be a very interesting ploy between Zampa and Asif Ali.
You know, if you see Shubhayan in the Pakistan side, they haven't put really a foot wrong in this tournament at all, right? And they've been the unbeaten team in the tournament. But if you were really to take out two sort of, I mean, and I'm not trying to nitpick here, but why I'm saying this, and I'll get to that point, is because if you see how Pakistan have stuck with Fakhar Zaman and Hassan Ali, you realize how they are giving that confidence to this side, because this is a winning outfit and they want to make sure everybody in that team feels secure and feels confident about their innings. And I think somewhere that's been one of the standout things about this team. You haven't seen any changes in this Pakistan lineup, and I know people will say, oh, but they've been winning everything, why do they need to change? But there are few things that they could have changed, you know, people who've been underperforming, but they haven't done so.
Absolutely, and I certainly feel the reason behind backing Hassan Ali is due to his experience in that Pakistani camp. Because Haris Rauf, although he has played T20 cricket all over the world, he was picked by the BBL side before he was called up in the national team. So that speaks a lot about his caliber. But when it comes to national team experience, Haris Rauf is there and then and there about. Shaheen Shafridi's has been their mainstay for a couple of years now. But again, Hassan Ali is their most experienced campaigner when it comes to pace bowling. Of course, no team wants to tinker around with their playing 11, winning playing 11. But I won't be surprised because the Dubai conditions, it's very tricky. It's very tricky to read there, and a lot depends on the toss. So you will want experienced campaigners as well, and that is why I feel Hassan Ali will get one more shot in the playing 11, and even the final is in Dubai. So I think if Pakistan go on to qualify, Hassan Ali's experience, I think that is why Pakistan are backing him. And as we speak, Pat Cummins was just warming up just behind me, and I'll just move around for our viewers. That is where Steve Smith and Aaron Finch are currently batting in the nets. You can see Pat Cummins also just walking there along with the physio. Uh, Adam Zampa has just hit the nets. He's bowling right now. Aaron Finch is taking some throwdowns along with Steve Smith. I guess Marcus Stoinis is bowling to Aaron Finch at the moment. And Ashton Agar is simply chilling. He's sitting down and chilling right now. He's not doing anything. But Pat Cummins is now ready to hit the wheels. So witness a full steamed Pat Cummins, and what a bowler he is. Josh Hazelwood, Josh Hazelwood has kept this optional training session. This is an optional training session, so players can decide on their body, how their body is reacting on that particular day, whether they want to attend a training session or not. So I think that is the reason Josh Hazelwood has just skipped this optional training session, but he has been a revelation in that T20 bowling setup as well. And I feel it is a very exciting battle between two great pace bowling department, be it Shaheen Shah Afridi, Haris Rauf or Hassan Ali, or be it the trio of Pat Cummins, Josh Hazelwood and Mitchell Stark.
That's right, and you've cued me to the next question about Josh Hazelwood. He has been, like Shubhayan said, he's been a revelation in this tournament. We've seen how, we were talking about how Shaheen Shah Afridi, Chris Wokes, Chris Jordan, Josh Hazelwood, these guys haven't done anything. I mean, I haven't seen them bowl bad deliveries. And it's such an important thing when you have 4 overs and you're sort of putting a price on every ball. You're making sure you're bowling it in the right areas. I think Josh Hazelwood has done that with the new ball.
Absolutely. I mean, Josh Hazelwood is known to bowl an immaculate line and length.
Yeah.
He's been compared to Glenn McGrath throughout his career. That's what he's done in this tournament, line and length, day in, day out, match after match. And therefore, he's picked 8 wickets in the 5 matches. He has an excellent economy rate. He has been impossible to get away in the power play. And that Josh Hazelwood's, the kind of bowling he does, his main quality you would seem would be to restrict the opposition batsman. But what he's done, he's transcended that in this tournament. He's also picked wickets, and that is a bonus for Australia.
Of course, Shobhan is at the optional training session. The Australian optional training session. He's right there, so he's been getting us the visuals from there. But also another key battle, Shobhan, that one can look forward to would be Glenn Maxwell versus Shadab Khan. We know how Shadab Khan controls the middle overs, and here is Glenn Maxwell in the form of his life during IPL, but hasn't done much. That'll be an exciting battle.
Absolutely. Shadab Khan or be it Imad Wasim, both the spinners have turned up for Pakistan in this tournament. They have bowled in the past, they have in the middle overs, and they have been absolutely sensational so far in the group stage. Remember, Pakistan are the only unbeaten side so far in this T20 World Cup, and they are deservingly heading into the semi-finals tomorrow. But again, this Australian team has so many match winners. We have seen David Warner. We have seen Aaron Finch, the destructive nature of their game. We have seen glimpses of Mitchell Marsh, although he hasn't played a swashbuckling knock of 70, 80 runs. But again, the main focus will be on Glenn Maxwell, because he is the player who has that ability to hit sixes at will in these conditions. These are difficult conditions to bat on. We haven't seen batting paradises in UAE so far. Only one score of 200 plus so far. But Glenn Maxwell has that capability of turning up the hit. He has that X factor, be it switch hits, be it reverse sweeps, be it sweep shots, be it hitting at the cow corner. So Glenn Maxwell will be very crucial player when it comes to tackling these two players in the middle over, Shadab Khan and Imad Wasim. And remember, Pakistan have two more off spinners in Mohammad Hafiz and Shoaib Malik as well. So if the things don't go as per the plans, they can obviously turn up to Hafiz, throw the ball to Hafiz or Shoaib Malik, and get those couple of overs in the cards, and that is where the Indian team was lacking that extra option. So I think Pakistan have come very well prepared. And as we speak, Mitchell Marsh has just tonked I guess it is a more than 100-meter six. He's absolutely belting those deliveries there.
Be careful out there, Shobhan. Be careful out there. You should wear a helmet and stand there. But I'm sure you're pretty far off from the training session. Thank you so much, Shobhan, for talking to us, and also keep an eye out on what it seems like the likely playing 11 is going to be. Is Ashton Agar is going to get a look in, or will it be the same lineup that Australia went in the last game? But that's it from all of us. Nikhil Narayan here with the numbers. Thank you so much. It is the big match that we were previewing, the second semi-final between Pakistan and Australia. Of course, do join us at around 6:30 p.m. today as we look forward to the first semi-final. It is England versus New Zealand. We all know what happened the last time they met in the 2019 World Cup final. Are there going to be fireworks like that? For me, and I'm sure for Nikhil, and I'm sure for everybody who watched it, it was one of the most thrilling matches that we watched ever. So do join us. We are going to be previewing that match. For now, goodbye. Thank you for watching.